everyone. Thanks for taking the time to choose this video. I hope you enjoy it. We are going to make another griddle classic today, pork fried rice, and it is so good. We're going to mix it up just a little bit, a little surprise here. We are actually doing it in the winter. It's about 30 degrees outside probably right now. Got a little wind going, so we've got our wind guards on our Blackstone. They seem to work really well. I'm holding temp really good. So for those of you that don't normally griddle in the cold, you can griddle in the cold. I have not griddled in below zero, so if any of you out there have done that, you'll have to let me know how that goes. Mostly I haven't tried. I believe that the product, we'll do our pork first, I believe that the product, the Blackstone Griddle, could handle it, but I am simply too much of a wimp to be cooking in below zero weather. But it is probably about 30 right now. Ooh, got excited there. And I marinate my pork in teriyaki sauce. So I'll probably take my marinade bag. You can hear it sizzling. Probably could have put down a little more oil, but it's fine. So we'll do our pork first for our rice, and then I'll actually move that aside. Let it sit for a minute here. So pork, again, marinated in teriyaki sauce. That's my way. Well, make sure you cook your meat nice and through. I will have sped up this video for you, so you don't have to watch the whole cook of the meat, but do make sure you cook your meat all the way through. This is probably about done, so we'll move it to the side. And we'll do some oil and butter. Do a lot of butter after this, but I want to make sure I oil this up real nice. We'll do our veggies. Move this to the side a little more. And I'll throw down some butter as well. Can't ever have too much butter. Well, okay, maybe you can. Let me get that little piece out of there. Get our butter in here. And then I just use frozen veggies. I picked this up from a friend. I can't remember who was doing it, but just a frozen peas and carrots. Frozen bag of peas and carrots. Dump that in. Makes things easy, especially when you're cooking for a big group or a family. And I'm going to let them cook just a little bit, mix them up a little bit, and then I'll put those to the side as well, but I'm also going to add some onions to that. So we did our pork first. Our pork was marinated in teriyaki sauce. Now we'll do our frozen veggies, which right now is just carrots and peas for the pork fried rice. Got a stray pea. It's got a couple. Let's get this down on a nice, so it's all cooking. Don't worry about the brown stuff. Remember, we're not burning it. It's our teriyaki sauce. That's all that flavor. Remember, don't freak out. It's all good. And I could have done, it to one side. If you like yours to look cleaner and prettier, you don't have to do it all in the center. You do. This thing is big enough. Okay, there's all that room over there. I could have done things on separate sides. I chose to do it right in there. But you certainly don't have to. Alright, those veggies are about done. I'm going to throw some onions in there. There's some green onions. Yeah, so if pretty is your game, then probably want to do like your veggies and eggs on one side and your meat on another side instead of all in the center. Otherwise, you got all that teriyaki sauce. But I'm going with flavor for me. I'm going with flavor and ease, probably. Flavor and ease, right? All right, let's move those veggies over, and then we'll clean up a little bit before we get our rice and eggs in here. We gotta get some butter down for our rice. We're not gonna be shy about the butter. We're gonna also clean off our spatula a little bit. We want to fry our rice, right? Fried rice. And like I said, I've got the wind guards on. It seems to keep heat pretty good. That's real nice. I can tell it makes a difference. Well, I can tell it makes a difference, at least in the fire is not just whipping around the same. So we pre-make our rice, right, the night before. Kind of let it dry out. Some people will put it on a nice pan, spread it out. I found it works just as fine in the bowl, and it's easy. Just don't let it clop. So like I'll cook it, I'll put it in the bowl and kind of leave it out in the air for a little bit. Maybe stir it so the stuff at the bottom doesn't keep cooking keep heating up and mashing up. But basically, you just want to get the moisture out a little bit, right? So I'm going to throw some more butter in there. I did turn my heat down just a little bit, probably a little more than I should have. That's okay. So I try to keep it like around 370, and I usually do pretty well. That works really well for me. I turned it down this time because I was actually a little high and didn't check it. So just so you know, we'll get that butter in there. Don't worry. We'll get that fried in there. But that's why you're not seeing probably an instant melt on that butter, because I had turned her down a little. Turned her down and forgot to turn her back up, so she'd be at temp. It's all good. It's all good. It smells so good. It smells so good, and I feel like it's not even together yet. No soy, no sesame oil yet. Get that butter down in there. That's me, so just make sure you stay at temp, follow your temps. It's not really hard to do. It was my fault because I was above and I turned it down and forgot to turn it back up. All right, we gotta get our soy in there. Let's throw some soy in there. Now for me, the key is to not over soy. I have over soyed before. Usually that's on an evening cook where I don't have any lights. Can't really see it. But otherwise you can kind of eyeball how much you want, does it look like what you want it to look like? Is there anything better than a vat pork fried rice? I mean, really. It's still not frying as good. My butter's still not doing what I want it to do. That's okay. Not gonna fret. Not gonna fret. All you need is some heat, right? It will cook sooner or later, and I don't believe you'll mess it up. I don't believe we will either. I think I might put a little more soy in there because I don't want to overdo it, so I'm a little worried because I have before. Let me just, put that butter in there, and that soy. Whip it all up real nice. Now, egg purists, I know, are not going to love that I'm going to put my eggs right in this middle dirty spot. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to make a well my rice. And again, if you want to, like keep it pretty, keep everything, nice and vibrant in color, go ahead, do it in a separate section. You can even do your rice in a separate section. Still make this nice little bowl that we're about to make. So we're going to make a little bowl for our eggs. That's what we're going to do. And you can just crack your eggs right in there and then break them off with your spatula. You can do them in a whole separate spot. I like to pre-mix them a little bit, not necessarily scrambling, right? Just sort of pre-mixing. Let's get the extra rice off of here. And then just throw them in. Let's do it. I have about 6 eggs in here. And if I get some rice in my eggs, I'm okay with that. Might need to make my bowl a little bigger though. That's all right. That's all right. Ooh, I forgot to put my butter down. You realize now though, I did not put my butter down for my eggs. I'm upset about that. So you want to make sure you don't miss that step. Come on up. Luckily with the Blackstone, I'm still gonna, my eggs will be fine, and I'll just be able to scrape it off. It won't be like that pan that you accidentally forgot, to pre-oil or pre-butter in your house that now takes you a week to get cleaned up. It's not gonna be like that. And like I said, you like it pretty, you do them in a separate spot. You don't have to mix them up or whisk them at all first. You can just open them, chop them with your little spatula. It's no big deal. I don't know. I guess I kind of like my eggs I don't know. Maybe I like the flavor a little bit in my rice, not separate. But everybody does their thing, and that's the best part about cooking. You just get different ideas from different folks. Find what works for you. Almost hard to see with all the steam out here. All right, let's mix everything together now. Let's bring it all over. Let's do the fun part. All right, the part we all love. That big old griddle. Making a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, look at that. Look at that. You tell me that's not good? That is good. That is going to be amazing. All right, now we're going to finish her off with our sesame oil. Don't overdo it. But that's where the flavor's going to be added. Add that flavor. Add the sesame oil. Get that in there. Got the butter. There's plenty of butter. Fry that rice. And then finish her off with some sesame oil. Look at that. All right. Again, thank you for watching. It's just a little different way, but I promise it tastes good.